So, I basically had to redo all my audio because it sounded like I was trying to read a horror story to you at nighttime. So, here we are. So, a few days ago, I actually got a comment on Matt Warkowski's video. I'm still probably saying that wrong, I am sorry. And it was by an account named GruntingPig67. They had this to say: "Really? Does this look familiar?" And then they show a link to DeviantArt and the Internet Time Machine. I found it browsing DeviantArt and I immediately got excited. Now, before I clicked the link, of course I had to make sure it was an actual real one and not a virus. And it turned out to be real, so I was in the clear. And let me tell you, on the other side, my freaking mind blew up. And let me tell you, I freaking flipped out. Now, if you could count how many times you could do a backflip, multiply that by 10. That's how many I did. I'm just kidding, I can't do a backflip. But on to serious notes. For a while now, this was believed to be the only screenshot that we had of the whole entire Five Nights. But, thanks to Grunting Pig, we now have more screenshots. Holy! I didn't know this level of heaven existed. Once again, thank you so much to Grunting Pig 67 if you're watching this video. You might, I don't know. But yeah, thank you once again a lot. This really helped out the search. And who knows, maybe one day we'll actually find it thanks to you. Now, the first image we have here is called Five Nights Glowing Eyes. Now, from this picture, it's pretty terrifying, I'll give him that. But it also looks like that the game was intended to be more darker than it seems. And now, I'm not talking about the designs of the animatronics, I'm talking about the lighting in general. This looks like an actual nightmare, because I think I've been there before. What even? Now, the next photo we have is called Five Nights Party Hats. This is basically just a dining room camera, but once again, it looks real. It looks more dark and eerie than the original game. But it shares a lot of resemblance, and it's probably just the same camera screen. But to me, it looks a little darker. And now we have Five Nights Hallway. This just looks like the left camera for the left hallway. But once again, it looks a lot darker. And I just want to say, I don't think that's Bonnie, because that character model does not look right. Maybe it's the Bonnie version that we never got to see with the blood and guts. Now, those few screenshots back then were just regular old screenshots that you could find on there. But now, here are the biggest screenshots out of all of them. What the actual... Okay, this picture is called Glowing Heads. And by the look of it, yeah, the heads aren't glowing, but the freaking eyes are. So, of course, this is the back room. This is the... I guess it was called Parts and Service. Wait, hold on, let me look it up. Okay, so I'm gonna go my bad on that one. So, back to seriousness. So this picture here depicts the Endoskeleton and the Bonnie head in the backstage area of FNaF 1. Now, if I saw this looking at me in the cameras nowadays, I would literally pee myself. So, here's a side-by-side comparison of how they look now and how they look then. Of course, the one on the left is the Five Nights and the one on the right is in the final game. Now, like I was saying before, the Five Nights one was intended to be more darker and fuzzier, while the right one just looks polished, with a little bit of shadow here and there. I mean, trust me, I would rather look at the right one than have to look at the left one. Yeah. And either the photo was inverted, or Scott designed it to where the camera would be looking at that angle before. It really does depend how you take this picture. But, all in all, that was the glowing head. Now, the next photo, after I talk about it, it's sadly going to be the last one of today's video. But hey, we made some real progress with this. And also, before I move on, thank you one more time to Grunting Pig 67 for showing me these, cause I gotta make a part 2. And once again, guys, I am always going to be looking into this, and hopefully I could provide y'all with a part 3, and maybe we can make this into a whole series. Who knows? But once again, thank you, Grunting Pig, and thank y'all all for the support so far on this series. And let's get into the final photo. The last screenshot I have today for y'all is the complete model of the Endo 01. Now this model is really, really terrifying. Even more terrifying than Endo 02, and he's ugly. So, this is the Endo 01 we have in the game now. Of course, you can tell this one's more silver and polished. The teeth are flatter than the sharp ones that the other one has. And these eyes are actually normal compared to the red and black. Also, this Endo looks a lot more friendlier. I mean, still, I wouldn't hug this thing. Trust me. Last thing I want to do is hug any of these things. To now have half of the full model of the Endoskeleton is just amazing. All we used to have was its head poking through Freddy's suit. And now we have this thing. Now, the more and more I look at it, the more and more I think it's actually looking into my soul. So, in conclusion, I think the images are real. Because why would someone take all that time just to Photoshop them once it was further revealed that there was a Five Nights game before Five Nights at Freddy's? Also, these were on the internet time machine before everyone found out about it. So, the next few pictures I'm about to show you are just all of them brightened up. I did the job for you so you don't have to do it yourself. You could thank me later. Or, you don't have to, it doesn't matter. So, this is the first one out of all the brightened images that I wanted to go over first, cause, look to the right, there are another pair of red glowing eyes. That means there were 3 heads in there that all have eyeballs in them that glow red. Now that's terrifying, but I love the extra little detail that Scott put in. Now the next one is the Five Nights party hat. All you can really see here is you can see the chairs and the party hats and the tables more clearly, and you could also just see the red and black tiling. The next one is the Five Nights hallway. Now what did I say? I told you. That does not look like Bonnie. Bonnie does not have those skinny legs. Honestly, it could just be an old version of Bonnie, or it might just be a placeholder texture there. You can see the tiling and the wall patterns, and that's basically it, what you can see here. This one is my second favorite out of all of them. Five Nights glowing eyes. Now, if you look at the eyes, they actually look like they have a separate texture around them, which means they are actually textured into this camera. They are not actually there. Also, it looks like the right hallway looked kind of different. I keep thinking it's like a fun house to where some walls are there, some walls are not. Or maybe that could just be a filing cabinet, because that right wall does look weird. And now here we are at the final screenshot. Wow. Apparently, it said Five Nights behind him. And also, you could see his design a lot more. It looks like a bunch of the design was changed of the Endoskeleton, aka the teeth, some of the extra wiring, the eyes, and the head shape itself. The nostrils too. And maybe even the hands a little bit, who knows. But of course, the biggest takeaway is the Five Nights behind him. Maybe Scott didn't have the title then, so maybe that's why it's called Five Nights. Huh. It really does make you think. Also, there was no secrets in this one. If you just brighten it up, you get a look at the extra detail. Yeah, basically. So, for now, this is where our journey ends on the hunt for the Lost FNaF 1 trailer. Now, these screenshots were really helpful, but we weren't after screenshots. We were after the trailer. I would just like to give one last shout out to Grunting Pig 67. They really did help out in this search by providing those screenshots, and I really could not have done it without them. So, once again, from the bottom of my heart, Grunting Pig 67, thank you. Who knows? Maybe next time we might actually find the trailer.
Hello? Hello? Well, if you're hearing this, then chances are you've made a very poor career choice.